Okay, guys, 1 minute here. All right, hang on. Let me get one shot here. Okay, so we're back with It's a Very Merry Christmas. Yeah, Linda, I told Grant, he says, I don't do Facebook. I said, well, what's going to happen? You see what's happened. Now he's going to take every video. Oh! If you said what happened, oh, she was being nosy and knocked something over and scared herself. That I can tell. Oh, yeah, she knocked that thing over there. There was a little thing that I put these balls in. Scared herself. If you said, what do you do? Just, now she's growling at it. I purposely, if you said, what is it in? It's the bottom of a shop vac. And I kept the bottom of the shop vac. If you said it would be, could you make it look like that robot from Lost in Space and wheel it down the driveway at them and scare the shit out of them? You could. You know, if you said, I've never heard of a dog afraid of a vacuum. Oh my God, it's so common. You know, to them, it seems alive. They don't really notice you pulling it around. They don't. I promise you they don't. They don't notice you pulling it around and just the shape and everything. It has sort of a live. If anything, you're grabbing it by the tail and trying to control it or jerking it around. They don't know what it is. Anyway, so we're back. I'm going to use the natural balance roll today. If she goes cuckoo for this, then I'll have you get some of that. And I use different stuff. If you said it's work to remain interesting to a dog, best I can tell, if you said based on what these people's dogs don't find them even remotely interesting. They don't. If you said based on what, they run away from them. If you said, well, based on, well, what do you base it? I run away from people I don't like too. If you say, oh, as fast as I can go, just as fast as I can go. And then I vow never to go near them again. If they said, well, what if they capture you, bring you back? I spend all my time strategizing how I'm going to get away from them again. So what I've got, I wait until the lawn guy or whoever opens the door. And then I'm gone. She's a hose chaser, and if you said, what do you do about that? There's nothing you can do. Nothing stops you from doing it. You just can't encourage it. If you said that's encouraging it, I know, I'm just trying to do it real fast. Okay. You know, if you said, I don't use any of measure of indifference in my training, I would say that's not good because I'm manipulating indifference to make activity with the handler seem more interesting. You know, it's not like marriage where people get married and then they just stay together forever and love each other and everything's exciting. Yeah. No, possibly it's just like that. You know, your job is to constantly be observing the dog and reading its internal dialogue. If you can do that, if you said, well, what does that get? And then you're 3 steps ahead of it then. If you said, well, physically, I'm going to try to grab for it and outrun it and stop it from doing all these things, I'd say, good luck with that. You're not a physical match for the dog is what the problem is. Anyway, I got to get more colorful stuff for my set. If you said, well, oh, I don't know anything. Oh, I know. I know what I can do. I can get the dog and training thing and nail it to the tree like a sign. I can't set it out. They're scared of it. Yay! So she's already picking up a stick. So I'm saying to myself, well, this might be a good chance to jump in there with my stuff. But what I've got is my 280C, and I am on 0, and I am missing a remote. I got to go out there in a minute. I know I had it on that pit bull yesterday, and now I can't find it. But what I've got is this, and if you said how much variation do you have, as much as I can get, and this is what we have to say. If this guy, if you said, well, you're in a time machine, you're back in 1923, and they said, we've recruited you to do Morse code, I would say, how much versatility have we got with this dot dash thing, or dot and dash thing? You know, how I wouldn't be able to do it. But, you know, that's what you're thinking of. I've got, oh, I'm sure I could do Morse code with this. Well, I could only say SOS. I don't know any other Morse code, but so if you said you can't make a language for that, if someone was deaf, you would not be able to use that. Pretty sure they already have it. Anyway, it's all the latest thing, and haptics is, based on the results, is only going to become more popular. It's true. It's true. It's, you know, people's inability to see it as a communication tool is limiting their own career. Oh, Jesus Christ, a cat fight. All right. Lily's, I don't know where she is. So what I'm saying to myself is let a dog think that you know, she can, her actions will lead to success, not her actions will lead to corrections. She hears everything. So I'm going to get her on I'm just showing a deliberateness. And if you said, what's the main cause of handler apathy? It is a handler that has no deliberateness at all. So I'm doing the 1-2 buckle my shoe. I'm doing it with both hands, and I'm making it incidental. If trainers say we're not that deliberate, well, then you're not doing a very good job. 1, 2, buckle my. So she's forgiving in that it's taking me a little bit longer. If you said, what is it you don't want to happen? You don't want them to make little microaggression moves towards your hand. If you said, what is that? Get your hands off me is what that means. So I'm very deliberate about that. So remember, I've started this dog. The dog has now been here like 9 days. So I've been... You're helping them see things from your perspective, I suppose. If you said, well, I don't have any situational awareness, my response to that is, oh, that's not good. That's not good. If you said in what context? In any context. Any context. That's going to be bad. Okay, so. Oh, now she's going to start getting in the mud again, so. Yay! I want to be able to get the dog moving with me. And I am. I'm going to, you know, if you said, what is heel? I mean, heel is going to be mean moving with you, but if you said, well, that doesn't look like it. That doesn't look like heel? It looks exactly like heel to me. Heel is going to mean drive the dog forward. People don't get teams of horses and the horses are just going, and the whole time they're holding them back and pulling the bit and pulling them back and pulling. It's the opposite. They're driving them forward. And it is the same thing with dogs. If you're trying to hold it back, that's an exercise in futility. If you said based on, you should have a bunch of crappy trainers. If you said, well, how long is that going to take? How much time have you got? These people are jerking him with a prong collar, trying to make him stop going forward. Honestly, not understanding that. Jesus Christ. Okay, so she's way over there. Millie! So, if I only do recalls when the dog is going... Oh, shit. Oh, whoops. Oh, the mud. Oh, her favorite. Okay, she'll keep running over to the mud now that I let it overflow. So I'm posturing all the time. I'm saying I've got specificity to how I move. And I'm going to bend the dog. And I'm not going to say sit. I mean, you're not going to do it. And there has to be that stop point right there. If you said it overshot the platform. Oh, yeah, it overshot the platform. You know, if you said, if I just, pandered this to people as it's a game. It's like a video game you play with your dog and maybe make it more graphics and stuff. The platform was sort of like a disco, light up disco thing. Oh, yeah, they go for that one. I played music and stuff, make it very innocuous. But, if you said, what's a game? Now, race the dog here, race the dog, then people would be better trainers rather than stop it from doing this, stop it from doing that. Oh, she's over there in the mud. You said all you're doing is teaching that dog to run real fast at a handler. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm teaching it. If you said the absence of that is not going to make any difference, it's going to make all the difference. You're not going to be able to get them to do jack crap if they're not willing to come to you. If you said, well, I can nag it over, not you guys. I'm speaking in generalities to humans. Not you, Grant and Linda. But... No, these trainers can't even do a recall. If somebody said, I'm going to go on YouTube right now, and I'm going to show you some recalls from these trainers from these chat boards, and you're going to be pretty embarrassed, Kelly, when we juxtapose it with your work. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be sweating that one. Yeah. Oh, in fact, yeah. Here's an idea. Go get the president of the IACP's recall and juxtapose that. Yeah, head right on over to his page, whatever it's called. Yeah. I'll be waiting. I'll be right here. All right, look, so we've got now the handler is seated, and if you said, well, you're doing the same thing, yes, you're doing the same thing you did the day before. And I do think it's very important for this that the handler is seated. Because for a companion dog, honestly, the people are going to be seated a lot. They're not going to be walking around all the time just saying heel and sit. They're not. They're sitting in their car because the dog's their companion. It's riding in the car with them. They're sitting at their house. They're possibly working from home. If you're there, Becca, please let me know how Penny's doing. The dog is there. So if you said, you mean you can, yes, you're conditioning them for that. So I've got my objects, and if you said, what do you do? If I had to keep using the same objects to get the same object to get the behavior, I would do that before I would get to an impasse insisting on it that it picked up a variety of objects. Don't do that.
that one video that Alice had where this woman is on the floor with all these objects going along. Bring, 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 until she gets a refusal and then jerks the hell out of this dog on a prong collar and says, bring, bring, bring. I don't see any problems there. Jesus Christ. You know, the dog is totally doing the behavior, not animated, but it is at least doing it. You're creating a refusal if you do that. Your number one plan in your initial training, and maybe we should write this down, Chelsea, if you see something going south, gloss over it and move away quickly from that. Don't sit there and wallow, you know, in your ineffective method. Am I wrong? All right, so I got a little ritualistic. I'm still not saying this has anything to do with her. Ah, my beloved party antlers. I'm not looking at the dog. If I have to use guard this, I do. Oh, my beloved party antlers. If only someone would just put them right in my hand. So I do want it to sort of become, you are adding things, you're adding precursors. It's important to stack up your precursors before. And then, you know, people don't denote the end of the exercise well enough. It's just sort of undulating along. And that's not how it should look. It should be more, you know, let's just say you had this cord thing on it. It was recording the heart rate and everything. You know, when it was working with the handler, it's going to be more excited than now it's just blasé. And so now it's just blasé. Now you hit the pager, you're instantly activating something. You've got to have the non-heightened to be able to heighten reality. You've got to be a part of heightened reality. Anyway, that's nothing to do with that. So, all right, we can add a couple of the fish. Of putting a foot on it. You know, I always think of this as like when you see a little kid She almost put her right in my hand. She almost put her right in my hand. You know, playing with the Barbies and stuff, and they've got the little Barbie purse. Oh, the dogs go right for that stuff. If you said, well, give me an example of with adults, the remote control. If you said, I've never heard of a dog showing up, all they do is see you with a thing in your hand, pushing it, possessing it. So again, it's easier to teach them to bring it to you. You have a better shot. You have a better shot that they're just going to get it, bring it to you instead of chewing it up. I'm decidedly not looking though. nudging the dog back in my direction. I should really held on to it then too. But if you said right then, boy, I was guarding it right then. If you said she saw it. It's all very subtle, but you know, if you said dogs never think people are fools, they do think we're fools because we're slow, and if we ever try to grab at them or anything, they say. So she's going to have to solve the problem of getting it over there. Oh, precious, adorable dog. You precious, adorable dog. So, you know, if you're a trainer or whatever, that's how you're getting your hold. And you're just adding distance away from the handler in the beginning. And the understanding that you are going to later be driving the dog back here without you being here. That's what you're going to be doing. That's the next step. But if the dog understands, they've got to put it in my hand. If I kept getting up to go get it, if you said, what if it absolutely wasn't going to do it? And I would get up and get it then, you know, but if I kept getting up to get it, I appear very stationary just by my body language. She put it right in my hand. She put it right in my hand. She put it right in my hand. So that's, you know, it isn't retrieving. And if you said, what part are you working on? From the dog's mouth being right there by your hand, outward. It's true. And if you know, people can't get them to do it because they think it has something to do with throwing it, so they keep throwing it. And then if you ask them, if you ask them if it retrieves, they go, oh yeah, well it'll run out there, it doesn't bring it back, and then you have to inform them, no, that's not retrieving. So I can try putting it a little bit farther away, and then again, I'm still not looking at her. I'm trying to help though. And I am continuing to bring the dog towards him. I'm not backing it. Let's just say I'm not backing it up at all. Yeah, let's try one more time. You know, and that's the biggest mistake people make. They're not around. Oh, it's a very Merry Christmas. It's a very Merry Christmas. They're just not aware of the level of consciousness these things have. You know, they've got adaptation and they've got situational awareness, and humans are creatures of habit. I mean, if you combine those things and a dog that's not got nothing better to do than study you all day long, and you've got 5 million things a day to do, and they run faster than you, more athletic than you, well, they've got the advantage. In what way? If you say, oh my, she put it right in my hand. Oh, I hope you've got me on the big screen, Grant. This is where you guys are out clapping, eating your popcorn. I know it's Christmas morning. Oh no, sipping your coffee. Sipping your hot cocoa. No. Sipping your eggnog. Oh, here we go. You're in a smoking jacket with your pipe. Your wife is baking cookies. Look, you got it all wrong, lady. I know, so I might not. Anyway, so that's where we're at. But that's, you know, you are. If you said, well, you're setting up, you're making it too hard. And I don't want you to say, I don't want you to think setting up a problem is a test or anything. It's, you can see this isn't the first dog I've done that with. And you know,
if it didn't work the first time or whatever, the dog just ran, then you don't have to keep doing it. But if they're capable of saying, well, I have to put it in their hand, clearly that thing is way over there, sitting there, look at it, it's not planning on getting up, based on the way it's got its feet all tucked up, yay, 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 yay. You know, she already picks up sticks. What I'm saying, if it already picks up sticks and I can't get it to pick something up, I must not be very good. That's what I would say to myself. I would say, my God, I can't even do shaped retrieve. I'd wear a shirt that said that. My God, I can't even do shaped retrieve. How good am I? I tell these people, oh, Sharon, you don't even know. I went after this guy, one of these IACP people, rehabbed an aggressive pit bull. If you said, what was the video? The biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever seen. I said, this is bordering on fraud for you to be claiming you can't even do a train to retrieve. And you're telling me, based on this effing garbage video voiceover, probably took you 2 weeks to edit this crap, no demonstrable behaviors. If you said, oh, I saw it, he was sending it onto the platform, he was recalling it, he was doing none of those things, nothing. He was going like this. He was out in the field. That's what he's doing, shit. He's out in the field going. To a dog, to the pit bull. Oh, trying to gain its trust. Okay, here's an idea. Don't do that, then. Okay, hang on. Let me go grab some more treats. Anyway, girl, I hope you're staying up late. Hopefully you don't have to work tomorrow. You probably do. Oh, my God, girl. But that's what I want you to try with Phoebe, is just not saying anything and letting her... It is kind of giving them the power that they have control over the situation. If you put individuals in a situation where they feel they have no control, they're happy. Not that I know of. If you said, who can I ask? A lot of communists during the Cold War. If you said, what makes them happy? I'll tell you what makes them happy. Capitalism. All right, hang on. So what we have to remember for her, and that's why I asked if there was another dog in the home, she's a social butterfly, so any other dog she sees, if you said, what's the fix? The fix is the novelty has got to wear off, or we have to convince Linda to get another dog. Linda's like, what? Or if it's Grant that's resisting, we have to go that route. It's a long process, battle of attrition, but we'll do it. So anyway, but you can see she doesn't have the best social skills. That's why she overreacts like that. So, Millie! making it that my calling her has a purpose, not just come here, come here, come here. If someone ever says to me, come here, I don't do it. So if people expect a dog to do it, that's unrealistic. If you said I go out in public and someone goes, come here, and I go over to them, I'd say don't do that. If they say, the bargain bin's this way, oh no, I take off then. I follow them. Where is it? That was my silent, and I think in a way you're kind of saying, the platform is helping your recall in every way. It really is. If you are setting it up as a de facto handler, then racing the dog there is, oh, here you go. Racing the dog there is racing the dog to yourself. It's true. All right, she's going. Millie! So I think a lot of what people need to do, and we need to talk about this for the ebook, but you need to be able to isolate parts of your body, understanding. If you said, oh, you couldn't fake like you were running with just one arm, I think you could. I think you could. And I was just going to show you how. That's all it needs to say. It does not need to see my lower body actually running. It was the illusion of movement. Oh, Schluten. I need to get some, I need to draw some Christmas decorations on Schluten. Oh, Schluten, she's awful. Anyway, so you can see the novelty is wearing off somewhat, but that's what you need to be able to do, Sharon. You're kind of doing your training. There's nothing. Oh, Schluten sees that treat under there. Just a little farther, you'll be able to get it. No, she won't stop till she gets that look at her. Look at her butt. She's huge. Oh, she's giving up. If you said, well, she's full, probably. Look at her. Ever since I got Amazon Warehouse, I have every kind of dog food. I had to buy more dog food containers. If you said, what? To keep the food away from Schluten, that's why. I used to be able to just have bags of food. Not anymore. Now I have a Schluten. All right, so she's over there. What I call Jimmy jerking this dog. Millie! And you're looking for that velocity. If you said, well, it looked like she kind of just dragged ass over there and climbed up there. She had levity from there to there. All right, let me get some shoes. Let's go on a nature walk. Anyway, I figured out I do have data on this iPad. That's why my YouTube is going to be clear now. I was going to give up on it after I saw how crappy it looked yesterday, because when the signal goes bad, it just pixelates the video. But then I said, I'm pretty sure I'm not stupid. I wouldn't have gotten it if I couldn't get unlimited data. If you said, is that how you plan on living the rest of your life? Oh, absolutely. I'm never going to not have unlimited data. So I'm sure I said that, but apparently I didn't have it set up. But no, I do. So anyway, who cares, lady? Just get over it. Go get your shoes. All right, hang on. Let me get off YouTube, though, and we will go on. I'll grab a couple of the other dogs. And if you said, what's that going to do? Oh, that'll really heighten reality. And if you said, why? What heightens reality for dogs? If I had to just say, if you said, give me one word that heightens reality for dogs, movement. If you said, well, give me 2 words, fast movement. Give me 2 more words, faster movement. That's what's going to attract them. It's if you said, well, that's just genetic. They see something moving that's alive and that's potential prey. Yeah. There's a really good thing, Chelsea. We need to have recommended reading in the ebook and recommended viewing. And that video, Dogs Decoded by PBS, is a very, very good video, and if you said it has a bias towards genetic predisposition being the most powerful thing in dogs, I'd say, well, I don't think it has a bias towards that, but I think that's what it's saying. I'm pretty sure that's the message it's sending. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys like that, and I will be back with the little pit bull in a minute, so stay tuned.